Alright guys, now I know you're probably wondering, Vic, what exactly are we doing in the middle of a football field? Which is a very valid question. Unless you know me, then you know I'm gonna break down the skill of trading with the sport of football every single time. I've helped several thousand people by using these analogies, so my creativity juices was flowing and I decided to build an entire world and try to actually break down these concepts in virtual reality. Now, is this gonna be the last fundamentals video you ever have to watch to master the skill of trading? Probably not, but I figured, hey, why not? I created this video a few years ago and I'm actually about to get back into teaching now, so have at it. Let me know your thoughts. I definitely had fun making it. Shout out to you, Meta. See y'all soon. Well, I find that there's so many similarities and I guess metaphors that we can take from a sport that we just might be a little bit more familiar with, and then we're gonna bring in some of the terms that you're gonna need throughout your journey and the journey of day trading. So go ahead, take out your notepad, your pen, your paper, and get ready to take some notes because we're gonna go ahead and break down a lot of the fundamental concepts that you're gonna need. So let's go ahead and get started. One of the first things that you're gonna need every single time that you get into the trade is a decision. What direction do I feel like the market is gonna go? Do I feel like the market is gonna go up, or do I feel like the market is gonna go down? Now, the beauty in day trading is you're able to make money as the market is going up or down. You just have to know what type of position you're gonna be in. So for this scenario, we're gonna be starting the play right here at the line of scrimmage, or as you can see, our entry point. Now, I have to go over here and check in with my coach and see exactly what play we're about to go run.
Now, for the sake of the length of this video, I didn't break down all 5 order types, but for this particular example, we're getting in buy market execution. That simply means that we're getting in the market right now and we want the market to go up. Check the description on this video for stocks rising, and that's where I do a more in-depth breakdown.
I want to make sure that you conceptualize some of the parameters that are going to be evergreen on all 5 order types. So we got the play, buy, market execution. As you can see, my touchdown is going to be in this direction. Now, before we run the play, let's actually see what's at stake. How many points can we actually put on the board? Or how much money is it that we're going to make? Well, follow me over here so we can break down exactly how the money is actually correlated to this whole day trading thing. So in the game of football, you may have noticed all of these white lines that are going up the side of the field. Well, they're separated 1 yard apart. Why? Because in the game of football, you have to be able to measure exactly how long the field is. Well, in the game of day trading, instead of having yards, we're gonna call it a pip. P-I-P. So every single increment in the game of day trading is a pip. Every single increment in the game of football is a yard. So let's actually talk about the play that we're about to run. As you can see, my touchdown is gonna be in this direction. You can also see the word take profit down there. Now, Vic, what exactly is a take profit? So a take profit is essentially going to be the parameter that you can put into place so that no matter what it is that you're doing, if you're busy, if you're asleep, if you're driving, if you hop in the shower, as long as you go in and place a take profit on your day trade, when the market comes up and hits this parameter, it's gonna automatically take you out of the trade 100%. So if you see the market and you decide that you wanna put a 30 pip take profit on your particular trade, and on this trade, you wanna be making $5 every single increment. Well, $5 every single increment for 30 increments is gonna leave you with $150. Well, Vic, if I'm able to make $150, what's at stake? What's my risk? Well, if you follow me to our stop loss, this is going to actually be the exact opposite. Our stop loss is going to be a safety net. If I decided to take a trade and maybe I go ahead and hop in the shower, or I take a nap, or I'm about to go to work, I don't have to worry about coming back and all of my money be gone. See, what I'm able to do is actually put a stop loss. So in the worst case scenario, there's going to be a parameter set so that whatever I was willing to risk is the max amount that I'm actually going to lose. So using our example of $5 every single increment will give us a 30 pip take profit, and a 30 pip stop loss means that I'm willing to make 150, but I'll also have a risk of 150. A 1-to-1 risk ratio. Now that we've covered the play and some of the base foundational concepts, I actually want to make sure that we cover some of the route, or better yet, the candles. So anytime that you may have actually seen trading, you may have seen these little squares with a line coming out and not really understood what you were looking at. So let's go ahead and break down what exactly each one of those mean individually and start painting the picture so that when we run our play, we know exactly what we're looking at. Let's go ahead and knock it out. So we're going to be using this example in a 5-minute time frame interval, which means that this candle is actually going to take 5 minutes to form. What does that mean exactly? See, every time that you've seen these charts before, every single candle does not mean the exact same every single time that you see it. You have to look at what time frame it was actually being represented on, because a candle on the 1 minute time frame only represent how price actually performed for 1 minute time. However, if you're looking at a candle that was produced on the daily chart, you're going to be able to tell where price opened that day, where price closed that day, the highest price that it actually reached, as well as the lowest price that it reached that entire day. Let's break down those components really quickly. Let's say that it's 8:30 p.m. That means that a brand new 5-minute candle is getting started. At the very beginning of every single candle's life, it's actually absolutely flat. How? Because price hasn't had a chance to go up or down yet. Because remember, a candle is going to represent how price moves throughout a time interval. So within the first 20 seconds of this candle being formed, let's say that it shot all the way up 10 pips. So now we have a 10 pip candle. And we actually now have two components that we can go ahead and label. See, at the very beginning of the life of any candle, you're gonna have the open. The open is gonna represent whatever price point the cryptocurrency was at the beginning of that particular time frame. So in this case, the open is going to be right here at the bottom of this box. Now we have a second component available. This is going to be the high. At any given moment, the highest price that a cryptocurrency has reached is always being tracked. So just in case price does decide to drop down, what you're gonna see happen is a gingerbread trail is actually going to be left behind. This is actually what we're going to call the wick. Remember, these are called candles. Now we have the body of the candle and we also have the wick of the candle. So the high is being tracked at any given time. So anytime that the price is fluctuating up and down within this range, the candle is basically going to look like this. Now remember, we have 5 minutes to actually get a read on where this candle is going to go. The price instantly just shoots down in price. Well, if that were to be the case, you're gonna instantly see that the candle is going to change colors, because all while the price is below the price that it opened at, this is actually going to be considered a bearish candle. See, when the price is going up, it's going to be white, but when the price is going down, it's actually gonna show to be red. Now, it's actually going to keep the exact same consistency with keeping track of the lowest price that price has ever gotten to for that particular cryptocurrency. So what does that mean? So if prices drop all the way down to this price point, but then begins to raise back up to here, well, traders and investors still need some type of data to show that price at least dropped down to here. If you're taking notes, I want you to write this down. Wicks tell stories. You're gonna always wanna pay attention to the wicks that are on a candle when you're considering where price may be headed. So now we have 2 components filled out, but we have 4 components that is available. Well, what are the following 2? We have the open, we have the high. Well, we also now have the low, the lowest price that the cryptocurrency has ever seen within the 5-minute time frame. So this wick is going to tell that story. We have the highest price it's ever seen. We have the lowest price that it's ever seen within the 5 minutes. We have the opening price. And now, because the 5 minutes is over and a new candle is about to begin, we also have the closing price. So these 4 components are going to be true on every single candle. And just having multiple candles back to back are going to tell this story just based on the time frame. Now, this is the final structure of a bearish candle, but let's go and take a look at the bullish structure and all four components to make sure we fully have an understanding. We categorize the two type of candles in these two categories. Bear candles, which are going to be going down in price from open to close, and then we have bull candles, which are going to actually be going up in price from open and close. You're gonna want to fully understand this concept right here, because every single time that you see the charts, or when people talk about the market is bearish or we're about to go into a bull run, they're going to be referring to this concept. Now, we talked about the formation of one candle in one time frame, but let's actually piece together how a few of these candles can actually form together to make one candle for another time frame. Now, we fully understand how one candle is going to be created. What we need to go in and do is see how these candles can actually go into the creation of a candle on a taller time frame. Well, with the first component being the high, all we have to do is look at these 6 candles and see what candle actually had the actual highest point on it. Well, as we can see, it's this candle here. So what that's gonna mean is if we were to drag this all the way over, the high is going to serve to the exact same high of this 30-minute candle. Now, we need to go figure out what was the low of this particular candle. Well, if we look at all 6 candles and we were to match it up with the lowest price point that was provided, and we were to drag this all the way over, we can see that the low is going to be matched up with the low of this candle. So basically what starts to happen is this one candle is a composition of all 6 5-minute candles. We still have 2 more to go. If this right here is the open of the candle, we need to see what was the open of this very first candle within this 5-minute time frame. Well, looking over here, we can see that this is a bullish candle, which means the open was at the very bottom. So what that means is dragging this all the way over should align perfectly with the open of this 30-minute candle. Now, the last component that we have to go and get, the actual close of the 30-minute candle. If we look at the closing price of this last 5-minute candle, then we're gonna see that the closing price of the very last candle aligns with the closing price of this 30-minute candle. So now you're able to look at a chart and make sense of it no matter what time frame you're on. You're gonna learn that it doesn't matter if I trade on the hour or the H4 or the day one, they're all representing price, but you may have a particular time frame that you want to see price represented. So hopefully this demonstration kind of helps you understand how the time frame works. So let's head back over to the field and execute our play. So as you've seen multiple times before, no football play is going to just be down, said hut, and they run straight to the end zone. You're typically gonna see a little bit of running around at the beginning. Well, there's no difference in the market. It's very important to always have your parameters set, because although this play turned out to be a touchdown, price could have easily took off going in the opposite direction, and that's where we want to make sure that we always have a stop loss in position. Now, I do want to give you one tip. Now, this isn't financial advice, but I would highly advise you to look into this at a very, very, very deep level. As you can see, there's gonna take some time for these candles to develop and for this play to be successful. So what you're gonna have to do is really make sure that you look into being a disciplined and patient trader. Don't be too quick trying to go big, going for the end zone on every single play. You need to make sure that you give your plays time to develop, because if after a couple of red candles you decide that you want to close out the trade, you may miss your opportunity on the long ball. Hopefully, we've been able to take some solid notes and get some good visuals. But again, don't worry. You can go back and watch this as many times as you need, or drop a question or comment down below in the comment sections, and I'll be sure to help you out. So with that being said, I'll see you guys back in real life and in the very next video.